I'm sure there are going to be dozens and dozens of glowing, happy reviews, and I had to reach down deep to mix things up. Alright, before we get going on this new episode, I'm responding to MangaKamen, who lovingly chose to debunk my analysis on Brotherhood Social. So let's have it your way, Kamen. Let's review this episode with 0 transgender themes.
Yup.
Me? Alright then!
The episode starts with Apple Bloom being spoiled and unlikable, straight up ignoring her big brother. And I'm sure some of you will be quick to point out, for Apple Bloom's age, that being somewhere between preteen and teenager, that isn't abnormal. That is until I remind you that Apple Bloom is the same one who came undone, damn near bouncing off the walls when she found out Pinky was related to her.
I have another sister! I have another sister! Well, you actually have a 4th cousin twice removed by a 5th cousin, but that's like exactly like a sister!
Calling her his sister, despite being her cousin, several times removed. Apple Bloom is an apple for crying out loud. They hold family to a higher standard. You might forgive the fact, realizing that Dave Polsky will never be as good a writer as Natasha Levenger, who wrote Pinky Apple Pie. But the second major character follow-up is that Apple Bloom already saw Sweetie Belle act like a complete twat to her big sister. Just look at her facial expressions here. Thirdly, Apple Bloom didn't kick up a fuss when Applejack competed with Sweetie Belle.
You do now. Hey, B and I figured since we do this every year, I'd let you borrow my sis so you can give it a try.
In the last Sisterhood Social, what magically changed? I mean, besides Dave needing Apple Bloom to act like a complete bitch against her pre-established character. That's bad writing, it's contrived, and it's bullshit, and it's bad for you. I've only just gotten started and I've already found 3 boners in the plot. There's also the massive conflict and blunder in the story that Big Mac just simply could have avoided if he would have listened to Granny Smith, who told him the rules didn't forbid him from competing. Meaning, unless he had some deeper reason to dress up, it literally is for no good reason. Rarity's disguise is quicker from Sisterhood Social and allows Sweetie Belle to shine more. It also doesn't introduce it way too early, and it doesn't overstay its welcome. It's simply a clever bit. If you're suggesting the drag act is, well, just that, it goes on far too long. I'm fairly certain if you measure the times from the Bugs Bunny cartoons where he cross-dresses as a gimmick, it's wrapped up in a fraction of the time, and it's done far funnier. I've seen a clip where Bugs Bunny knocks out this bit in literally 11 seconds opposite of the Buzzard character, and 4 opposite of Elmer Fudd. Not to mention in the first Sisterhood Social, Rarity's business is potentially at stake. Granted, Rarity tends to make the right decisions in these circumstances. Sweet and elite, but at least we're met with an actual internal struggle for the protagonist. What does Big Mac have at stake? His social standing in the town? He's a farm pony. Unless he ceases to be big and strong, I hardly see how things will change. One of the ways that they could explore that is showing Big Mac being injured. Kinda like they did in Applebuck season. But as early as it was in the series, missing that opportunity to expand on Big Mac is fairly forgivable. I also find it funny people are quick to point out Big Mac's boon as being proven as being more athletic than Rainbow Dash. I would also like to add that he's less athletic than Rarity, who is able to thrive within the guidelines of the Sisterhood Social. That's canon now. Rarity, the fashion pony, and her sister Sweetie Bloom did indefinitely better than 2 apples. There's your progress. The MLP version of Tyler Perry's Medelia. Not to mention, it's rather jarring and immersion-breaking to see Big Mac slip into a disguise and become a chatterbox. Big Mac literally became a social butterfly in women's clothes. Again, it's either gender issues or just piss-poor writing. Now on to the episode. What if I told you the best episode of MLP FIM had child abuse and racism?
More Diamond Tiara!
You know, Diamond Tiara is many things. Stupid isn't normally one of them.
Affection, it's a natural selection, so your vote better be for me, not the weakest link.
Here, see this? Diamond Tiara, especially in Twilight Time, knew how to manipulate the masses. And now suddenly she's hit with the idiot stick. In fact, Diamond Tiara losing her competency is her losing her last good trait.
Past their little secrets, I know you do. A vote for me will help you keep them safe.
Okay, that makes a little more sense, but you know there's a subtle art form to blackmail? What? I mean, so I've heard. I mean, because there's a subtle art form, I can't exactly give you examples. Like the time I blackmailed Looney into throwing Shark Discusses out of the rift. Oh fuck, I said that out loud.
If you show them all you be.
Oh wow, Tommy would have flipped his shit for that.
Oh my gosh, Crusaders! Pick one! I couldn't have won without the hard work of my campaign manager.
Well, at least that wasn't the episode climax.
You didn't vote for me? No, I didn't. But you're my best friend. Am I? Because I tried to help by mentioning you're prize statue, and suddenly I wasn't even allowed to speak. You could have actually won this election if you just listened to me. You want to know how? Sorry, I'm not allowed to speak.
Oh my god, I didn't even think that was gonna happen.
But I don't have to follow her drama anymore.
Just imagine if they ended the episode on this note. I'm done. I can turn off the episode, put a check in the win column, we can all go home. Oh crap, we're only a third way in.
Diamond Tiara! Why are you making that face? That is not the face of a winner.
So at long last, it's come to this. It's been a long time, kids. I'm gonna be completely honest with you, the bar for what's good and what's not just went through the roof.
And reaches all over Equestria. Don't ever forget that Diamond Tiara. Ever!
Is it weird I'm enjoying watching child abuse? Anyone else? Who the hell is writing this? It's not possible she did it again? Another home run? This is already a grand slam of an episode and we're not even halfway done. I've always liked DT. I didn't care what made her bad. I just assumed the explanation would be underwhelming. But tell me you're not feeling this. The removal of Silver Spoons was necessary to give Diamond Tiara an out to accept the offer, as her dejection has left her at her lowest point. This is how to make a character do something uncharacteristic and make it believable.
We are? Yeah, you get to explore all these options, learning who you really are before you're stuck with something you don't understand.
I legitimately got swerved here. Remember this moment, class, when people point to Rarity Investigates telling you it's too much to ask to make plot points that surprise adults.
You yesterday. Were you trying to get your cutie mark in spying?
I can personally testify that spying can solve 1/3 of the world's problems.
There's so much more still left to learn about yourself. See the light that shines in you. We know you can be some pony elf.
This is the first time without listening to a song I didn't want it to end. It's not to say that I don't have other songs that I like, but this is definitely going on loop later. Now we're 2/3 into the episode, and I am unbelievably pissed off that we can't have this all the time.
From the dark and see the light of your cutie mark.
Dude, socialite my ass. Who the fuck calls kids lowlifes in public? What? That's to be said behind closed doors. That's villainy day 1, lesson 1.
Tiara! I just happened to be here for the school board meeting, and this is what I see when we adjourn. My daughter associating with confused, insignificant lowlifes. Socializing with their kind is not how you move up in Equestria. Come, Diamond Tiara.
She told the bitch off. I'm sure this moment's been building over the years, but I would have liked to have seen the build-up. At least I think I would have.
You spent your life acting like a high horse and raised me to follow in your hoofprints. At first I thought this was fine, but then I finally realized I wanted something you don't have. Friends!
Yeah, it's a dumb little kid show with nothing profound to learn. I hope we can bury that bullcrap right now.
Obviously, I've known since I got my cutie mark that my talent is getting other ponies to do what I want.
I will only use my bitchy powers for good now. What a deliciously warped message. You know, if I had some moral fiber, that would really piss the hell out of me, but seeing as how I don't, this is fucking amazing. Okay, moving forward, I want you guys to realize something. Diamond Tiara is never gonna be a bitch to the CMC ever again, potentially. Can the CMC's episode survive without that? I mean, let's look at the worst one. Appaloosa's Most Wanted had no DT to make the CMC be better than her. The antagonist is there. Scratch that. Evil is there to make good shine. Period.
I get my cutie mark as long as I get to hang out with my best friends. So what do you say, Crusaders? Want to just focus on helping others find their cutie marks? Yeah!
And they all woke up. The end. But no, seriously, it's gonna piss off a lot of people it wasn't their obvious talents. And I'm kinda happy it's something else. I find it profoundly gratifying to see the CMC aren't slaves to their destinies.
Alright, final thoughts. I was actually almost numb by all the epic beating me in the face by the time the CMC got their cutie marks. I'm not saying it doesn't make sense. I'm saying they sure gave away a lot, and well, they had more than enough in this episode before the CMC got their marks. I know this sounds horribly nitpicky, but that's just how good this episode is. The worst thing I could say about it is literally bursting with the scenes with big moments. This is a big episode. This is the biggest episode in the series. The CMC vanquished Diamond Tiara forever, so to speak, and finally realized their path in life. That's the off note for me. I want to call it a Diamond Tiara episode, instead it's made out to be for the CMC. Also, I'm happy Apple Bloom's cutie mark isn't just merely an apple. Did anyone else notice that Amy Keating-Rogers basically did what M.A. Larson couldn't do Magical Mystery Cure? She fit mountains of content into one episode with a series of songs, and you know what she doesn't have to do? Come back to us and blame Hasbro for ruining it. That's what great writing is. It's working around restraints and within guidelines to create the best potential product possible. And there it is. Take a bow. Thank you.